Hello everybody, my name is Ian Doherty. I'm a spiritist medium, and in this short video extract we're going to talk about the topic of trance. Now there is a lot of interest in trance, and of course, and again in my opinion, there's a lot of myth gathered really out of ignorance. I would ask people please to read, talk to people who profess to be the trance medium, see what it is and make up your own mind. Okay, now then ladies and gentlemen, when we're talking about trance, want to know what trance is, obviously, as well as what we can utilise trance for. In order to better understand it, we need to have a little look about that brain again, how it's utilised by the medium and of course by the interactions with spirit in order to impart either philosophical address or indeed information from the spirit side of life. When we look at the brain, there are four recognised brain waves, being the beta wave, the alpha wave, the theta wave and the delta wave. Now, the beta wave is the one that we have where we're going about our normal work. Everything we do, we're interacting, we're chatting, we're doing all sorts, it's busy. And there is approximately around 18 to 40 cycles per second, so it's busy. When we come down into the alpha wave, which is where we're looking at some of the trance conditions coming, trance, however, ladies and gentlemen, being very synonymous with an altered state of awareness. So when we're away from that busy time, we're in what we could perceive as an altered state. The alpha wave is approximately 8 to 18 cycles per second, and most people remark about experiencing paranormal or mediumistic psychic information when in that alpha wave, most notably when we first go to bed and when we first wake up in the morning. We are within that alpha wave. We have then the theta wave, which comes down a little bit to 5 to 8 cycles per second, so it almost halves. The beta is almost, well, the beta is the strongest and the most active. The alpha wave is half, and again the theta wave is half of the alpha wave. We then have the delta wave, which is 1.5 to 4, which is very, very slow indeed. Now, we want to concentrate mainly on the alpha wave, on the theta wave, and again on the delta wave for trance. Now, there are three distinct levels of trance, the first one being that of inspirational. Now, this is solely within the remit of the alpha wave. From the high end of the alpha wave, around those 18 cycles at the top end, down to the mid, so maybe over towards 10 cycles per second. This is where we have inspirational speaking. You see the medium delivering an address or philosophy, or indeed imparting information from a person's loved one in the world of spirit, on the platform and in a private sitting. We are wholly within that higher alpha wave. It's called inspiration because you think, oh, you were very inspired to write that, or you were very inspired to talk about this. We have still remaining with us a lot of cognitive awareness, because we need to therefore interact with the people we are talking to or interacting with. They may say no, or I don't understand, I don't do this, I don't do that. Yes, that makes sense. They may cry over the information. We need to interact with them. Therefore, it is wholly within the remit of the alpha wave, where when our mind changes quick to response, we could go find ourselves back in that beta wave. Now, when we're looking at what we call as overshadowing, now this is the next level of trance, and it is a little bit deeper. It is towards the low end of the alpha and maybe at times to the high end of the theta wave. This is where we can feel, and this is where wrongly people put a wrong association. It is very much a case of people feeling the presence of a discarnate spirit with them, a person who's passed over. They may feel heavier of limb. They might feel as if they've got larger arms, they're taller, they're wider. They take on a feeling of the person who is wishing to communicate with them. It's called overshadowing because all intents and purposes we seem to be taking on a mild personality of a different person. Now, it must be stressed, and I cannot stress this enough, ladies and gentlemen, trance is not a state of possession. Spirit do not enter into the physical body. It is, in my opinion, an impossibility. Now, the overshadowing is where, oh, they try to take over me, they try to do this. This is where ignorance comes in, ladies and gentlemen. We need to read, talk, research. Okay. Now, when we're looking at the next level of trance, then this is where we're looking at trance per se. We are into the theta wave and going down to the mid to low theta wave. This is where there is again less cognitive awareness. Therefore, you cannot adequately respond to questioning. When you're asked to move your hands or move your arms, you can't automatically do it as we would do when we have that cognitive awareness and we move our hand. When in a state of trance, we can't always do it. Now, it's a known fact that in trance, the last of the senses to be filtered out are the hearing. Therefore, when people are talking to us, asking us a question, particularly of the person who wants to talk to us or with us on behalf of others, is reacting. This is where you can ask in a subconscious way, that is to say in thought and not in mind, and therefore you could ask the spirit control or the spirit communicator to move the hand of the medium, just in your mind, so the medium doesn't hear, and when trance is in evidence, the hand will move because you've asked that and communicated with spirit and not directly with the medium. Now, there are various feelings when we look at trance. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, heaviness, unable to respond verbally to questioning, and again, we might be trying to move the physical body, but we cannot do so. Hearing is the last sense to go because, like most people, we are nosy. We want to know what's going on, what is being said, and indeed, because we want that control for ourselves, it's hard to let go, ladies and gentlemen. The last brainwave to talk about is the delta wave. This is very synonymous with deep trance mediums. When we say deep trance, there is no cognitive activity in evidence. They will not respond to questioning, not directly themselves. However, the person communicating them will. This is where mediums come back and report hearing nothing whatsoever, having no conscious recollection of what has taken place. The delta wave in the deep trance state is also very synonymous with physical mediumship. We will come on to physical mediumship in a later video, however. Trance does come under the auspices of mental mediumship. The medium is in control. Should they wish to say, well, I think I've been here long enough, I want to come back, they have those thoughts, spirit are listening and communicating, and of course they stand back and our brainwave goes from the theta back to the alpha and then back to the beta wave, and we come around, we can interact, sometimes with a bit slurred, a bit slow, and is also in need for the water. Cannot be stressed enough, folks. If you want to undergo or indeed learn how to do trance, then water is very essential. Bear in mind, we are between 70 and 80% of water, so it is an important fact.